Alright, so this is going to be my first look at the Vengeance Demon Hunter. I've been very hyped about this class. I love tanking. Tanking is my game in this in WoW, and hopefully I'm going to be tanking in Legion as well. And finally we have the Vengeance Demon Hunter finally out. Oh, I'm so freaking excited. So looking at their abilities, the very first thing I want to kind of point out is their resources Pain. Now Pain stacks to 100. Same as Fury, and it also decays, and you have a couple abilities that generate it. Honestly, I don't know why they have different names. If they both work the same way, it doesn't look like you actually generate any pain from taking damage. So it's basically the same thing as Fury. It's just yellow, orangish. So, I mean, I don't really know why it's different, but it is what it is. Now, the only other interesting thing, the mastery for the Vengeance Demon Hunter is Fellblood. Demon Spikes reduces physical damage taken by an additional 20% and increase your attack bar by 20%, like every other tank's mastery. So, good shit there. Again, you can see that Volti Strike has been taken out of the game, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. And let's see, as far as the spellbook goes. So both Havoc and Vengeance have Consume Magic, which is their interrupt. It's just pretty basic, 20-yard range, 20-second cooldown, interrupts a target for 3 seconds. Now, their active mitigation, for what it appears to be, is they have a heal and then they have damage reduction. So Demon Spikes cost 10 pain, and it actually does look like haste reduces it. So it's at 12.9 second recharge. It has 2 charges as baseline. With more haste, you're going to get a lower cooldown on that. But it increases your parry chance by 20% and reduces the physical damage taken by 30%. And again, your mastery does increase that damage reduction. Now, then you have Fellblade. This is your pain generator. It's on 9.4 second cooldown. I'm sure that gets reduced with haste as well. And it does a decent amount of damage. More importantly, generates you your pain. Now, this cooldown actually gets reduced by Shear, which is a spammable melee attack. It does a little bit of damage and it reduces the cooldown of Fellblade by 1 second. So basically, you're going to be using this on cooldown and then spamming Shear. Try to reduce it even more. Infernal Strike actually replaces Fell Rush, which is the dash type ability. Now what this is, it's basically Heroic Leap on a charge system, and it kind of transforms you into demon form and does a little bit of damage, and you can actually talent it to generate you pain as well. If you want to see it right here, boom, looks really cool. Has a little bit of a delay, which is kind of not the best, but yeah. Let's see here. Then there's Metamorphosis, of course. It's working a little bit different from the Havoc one. It just transforms you into demon form. There's no leaping, stunning, anything like that. It's on a 3-minute cooldown, and it increases your current and maximum health by 30%. The real benefit, though, is the pain generation. 10 pain every 1 second means you're going to be generating a whole bunch of pain, which is going to tie into your heal that I'm actually going to talk about in a little bit. It's called Soul Cleave. So what Soul Cleave does is it's 40 pain. Right now in the Legion Alpha, pain is kind of it generates very, very slowly, just incredibly slowly. But with 40 pain, it's going to do a nice big vicious strike, does a lot of damage. It does it actually in front of you, and it generates 3 soul fragments that heal you for 5% of maximum health per fragment. The thing about this, for Havoc, they actually appear around you, right? But it looks like for Vengeance, when it's created, you actually just absorb it immediately. So while the wording on this makes it seem that you generate the fragments and they're around you, you actually just get immediately healed. Just straight up. So you're definitely going to want to use that to heal yourself when you're taking a lot of damage. And of course, Metamorphosis giving you a bunch of pain is going to make sure that you can use this more often. So what else? Fiery Brand. What this does, 1 minute cooldown, it's a little bit of damage reduction, 40%, 8 seconds, but it also actually does interesting amount of damage. You got a Glide, of course, Immolation Aura. Immolation Aura is interesting because it's spammable. It only lasts for 6 seconds, but it has a 10-second cooldown, so you can't keep it up permanently, but it is basically spammable. You just keep it up as much as you want. Doesn't matter. It just does AoE damage around you. Now, something that I'm personally excited about is the sigils. Sigils are, depending on the one that you're talking about, they do different effects. And they're almost a form of raid utility that we've seen taken away from a lot of the other tank specs. Now, Sigil of Change is basically Gorfine's Grasp. It's a mass grip. You put it down in a zone, so let's see here. Boom, sigil chains. It'll pull everyone to the middle after 2 seconds. All the sigils take about 2 seconds to charge, and then their effect goes off. It'll pull everything in the middle and snare it. Pretty simple. Sigil Flame, it's like a DPS cooldown. Same basic concept, just does a bunch of damage to the location. This has a 2 minute, just like Orpheus Grasp. This one has a 1 minute. And then Sigil of Silence, which is Arcane Torrent, but for Demon Hunters. It's actually a very nice graphic there. And of course, Blood Elf Demon Hunters still do have Arcane Torrent, so lots of silences that you have there. Already talked about Soul Cleave, Spectral Sight. You know what it is, you can see treasures and enemies. Throw-Glaive, the interesting thing about Throw-Glaive is it doesn't have a cooldown, but it's definitely not worth using constantly, the same way that, for example, it is on Havoc. It does a piss poor amount of damage, and besides, you're gonna want to be spamming Shear to reduce your cooldown on Fellblade, which is again your primary pain generator. So it's a good ranged attack, but you don't want to put in your rotation. Torment is Taunt. Demonic Wards is basically your normal tank aura that just reduces the critical hit chance on you, increases your stamina, reduces magical damage, all that stuff. And then you have Double Jump and Shattered Souls, which we already talked about. So it's interesting the way that they work. It ends up being something where you're definitely using Fellblade on cooldown, you're spamming Shear otherwise. Eventually, if you need a heal, you do Soul Cleave just to do damage. Demon Spikes, Active Mitigation, just reducing some damage. Interrupting Emulation Aura, basically on cooldown when you're fighting a lot of things. And Throw-Glaive just to pull. And then you mix in the Infernal Strike when you're wanting to grab something. And then your Sigils for utility and things of that nature. Talents now. Obviously, I haven't leveled up all the way to the cap, so I can't access much of these, and from 108 to 110, those talents are not implemented yet. But for 99, Abyssal Strike, it just increases the range of Infernal Strike, which is the Heroic Leap, and it gives you some generation for pain. Again, you really, really generate a very slow amount of pain, so I did it mostly just so I can get some more pain going. Speed Demon, it just lets you charge up when you're doing Fellblade, which is the one that generates 20 pain. It's interesting, lets you charge up to 15 yards away. I found it's a little bit buggy on the alpha. I'm sure it'll be smoothed out later on, but it's definitely an interesting thing. And then Soul Flare, which auto attacks have a chance to spawn a Soul Fragment, which I'm going to assume is going to be around the target and not just immediately absorbed. I have to test that out. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go with Abyssal Strike for the pain generation. Then you have Agonizing Flames, it just increases the damage and radius of Emulation Aura. Blade Turning, which, again, if you're having a lot of trouble generating pain, I'm assuming that'd be a good talent for that, because every time you parry, you're going to get 4 pain. And then Feast of Souls, which Soul Fragments just heal you, they just put a HOT on you instead of just immediately healing you. Besides that, then you have Burning Alive. Every 2 seconds, your Fiery Brand deals damage and spreads to a primary target from the primary target to a nearby enemy. Now, obviously, I haven't been able to test that, but it seems like when the brand is on someone, they do 40% less damage to you. If it also spreads the damage reduction effect, it's going to be something that you're going to want to be using on AoE packs. Because if you're reducing the damage of everything around you to you, it's going to be incredibly invaluable when you're tanking. Other than that, you have Pain Tolerance, which generates 4 pain every second when you're below 20 pain. I don't see that being good. I mean, 20 pain, that's 1 Fellblade. So when are you going to use that? And then Violent Sigils, when you place a sigil, it has a chance to spawn a Soul Fragment. Again, I have to check that out. I'm not really compelled with these Soul Fragment talents, personally. I play a monk. I'm used to the little orb on the side that you have to pick up to heal. It's not super incredibly interesting. Then you have Blades of Anguish, which Shear has a chance to immediately reset the cooldown of Fellblade. That seems incredibly interesting, especially because you do end up, when I was doing the questing zone, you actually get to choose Vengeance in the middle of the Demon Hunter zone. You basically just spam Shear like crazy. It's very, very spammy. It doesn't feel good to be playing like that, personally speaking. But that definitely has an interesting thing there. Quicken Sigils just reduces the cooldown of your sigils and they activate 1 second faster. Soul Rending increases Leech by 100% while Metamorphosis is active. That could be very interesting if Vengeance Demon Hunters end up doing a decent amount of damage. Right now in the alpha, they seem to be a little undertuned, but of course they're doing a lot of changes of tanks where they're reducing their defensives, increasing their offensive a little bit. But that could legitimately be very good, especially since all Metamorphosis does is increase your health and then just generate pain for you. So, interesting. Then you have Nemesis. It's a 50-yard range, 2-minute cooldown, and increases the damage you inflict against a specific target by 10% for 2 minutes. If that target is killed, you inflict 10% additional damage against all creature types matching the original target. So for Legion, I'm going to be assuming it's just demons. You put it on a demon, you kill that demon, you're going to be doing 10% additional damage to all demons. Now, that's for the remaining duration, so it's just for 2 minutes. Interesting. As far as rating goes, I mean, if there's a priority target, definitely going to be helpful. It's just a cooldown, essentially. Sigil of Misery. Now what this does is it's a mass fear. It's just disorienting for 10 seconds. It's a decent CC, I guess. In general, disorients do break really quickly, so I don't see this being useful for rating, and if I'm completely honest. And then Soulmate. Mark a friendly target as your soulmate for 15 seconds. Consuming a soul fragment heals your soulmate for 3% of the maximum health. So, like a healing version of Vigilance. Interesting. It's a nice little tank cooldown. You just throw it on someone. Interesting to see if Soul Cleave healing, since it's 3 of them, and you're essentially being healed by 15%, if that would then heal your soulmate for 9% of their health. Interesting. Something if you want to check out. But okay, enough talking. I really want to go ahead and get the artifact quest done so we can get the artifact legendaries. I do have to say I miss Fel Rush so much. After having it in the entire starting experience, just having Infernal Strike just feels like a letdown, especially since I love roll.
There is much
Talking Archmage Khadgar. Before this, you get a quest that lets you choose which of the 2 artifacts you want to go for. After you choose the Vengeance one, you basically talk to Khadgar. He does a little cutscene thing up here where he rummages around and gives you some battery. And now you're turning in the quest.
Farewell, my friend. Until we
The
meet
crystallized
again.
soul should power your communicator long enough to reach your allies. I must urge you to be cautious, Talriel. If that device is of Legion origin, then you never know who among its creators might overhear your message. I'm sure your men eagerly await your return. Now,
Where
going
you
back.
lead, we will follow.
So, God, I miss Fel Rush so much. It's nice to just fly through the air, but I mean, change is change. So going back to the Demon Hunters and Dalaran. This is before you set up your actual art class hole. This is literally leave the Wardens, you talk to your Demon Hunter friends in Dalaran, and then you go choose your whichever one you want to go ahead and pursue. Alright, so let's figure out where we're picking up these Eldrachi Warblades. Yes, that will do nicely. Release its energy to activate the communicator. It should already be configured to contact Alari and her forces. If Karia is out there, we will find her, and we will make her suffer for her transgressions. So we're gonna go steal her weapons because she betrayed us. Have you located the Warblades? Yes, Karia, Broken Shore, encountered heavy resistance. I'm very interested about this Broken Shore experience they keep talking about. It seems all the good guys lost incredibly badly, and the world is just in utter disarray. So I definitely can't wait for that pre-patch to come out. We're gonna go ahead and see what the fuck happened.
Lord Illidan knows the way.
No, there's a quest.
I have sacrificed everything. What have you given? If we do...
And Philbats. A lot of people are excited about these potential mounts to be coming out, especially just for Demon Hunters. I don't like it that much, but I mean, it's personal taste, I guess. I'm not a fan, just in general. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so she's held prisoner, but all these demons are dead. scythe? What? What kind of a demon hunter uses a scythe? Where's her warglaves? Team of Sargeras in the background. We're going to be using a Fellblade and then just spamming Shear. Fellblade on cooldown, and now Soul Cleave everything in front of me. Then I'll strike for some pain. And now Soul Cleave. Just immediately healing. Yeah, so like I said, it's just I don't. As a monk, when you Tiger Palm, you can Tiger Palm on just infinity. It doesn't matter. You can Tiger Palm as much as you want. So I mean, there's a little bit of spam there, but you're Tiger Palming just for DPS. It's not really something that is contributing directly to your survival. This though, you have to spam in order to get pain, and it feels. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm really just not. I definitely think that they have to make some changes, and I don't think this ever ends. Over here, gonna close this gate. The sigil down, or Immolation Aura, sigil. Damn, that sigil did a lot of damage. Just go ahead and get them grouped over here. Nice. Immolation Aura, keep that up. Some more pain. Oh. Demon Spikes. Oh, I love that you just get these little spikes in the back. It's amazing. You can see actually with the new UI, you see how long it lasts. Demon Spikes again. Soul Cleave. Fellblade. Immolation Aura. Immolation Aura. And dead. Everything's dead.
I need to get closer.
Jump over here. Let's close that. Immolation Aura. Oh, big, nice, juicy Soul Cleave. Kill everything in front of me. Immolation Aura's back. And throw a glaive. Just shit damage.
Target.
So there's some Illidari's. Huh. So jump. Ishinora's up. Down the sigil. Let's put a fiery brand. Yeah, I don't like having to spam shear just to reset the cooldown. But then again, it might just be a situation where I don't have my add-ons. I can't really see when it's going to be off cooldown, so I can't pre-plan it. So it definitely is something that with add-ons is probably going to be better. Where do I go? Wow, that's a Pit Lord? Alright, I know what I'm going to do. Fellblade, shear, 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 shear. Go ahead and put down the sigil. Stun for days. Sigil. Nice big Soul Cleave. Fellblade. Shear, 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 shear. Yeah, you just get in a situation where you're just spamming shear essentially. Then Fellblade, get some pain. Shear, 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 shear. Get stunned. And then Soul Cleave. I think both specs of Demon Hunter are just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of, they need a little more, in my opinion. And they're dead. A little late there with the get down.
I need to get closer.
I'm assuming I have to go through there. I mean, there's enemies. Maybe I have to use Spectral Sight. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I wish we had I-Beam as a tank.
Range.
I do like starting with that Heroic Leap though. It's very cool. I think it's the thing that Demon Hunters have a lot of. Just cool. Immolation Aura's up. Cheer, Soul Blade, or no, Fell Blade. Fucking new names. Need 40 energy for my fucking Soul Cleave. Soul Cleave, Immolation Aura's back up. And spam Shear. Take a little bit of damage, let's Demon Spikes. And then heal it back up. Heal's pretty decent. It's not the best in the world, but it's decent. Put a Sigil down, Relation Aura, Fellblade, and then heal it all up. Relation Aura. It's a lot of waiting around. It's definitely not enjoyable, or not as enjoyable as I would have hoped for.
I need to target something first.
For all that talk of mobility, I really think that they need to put Felt Rush back in. Relation Aura, Fellblade, spam, spam, spam. Fellblade, Soul Cleave, spam, spam, spam. Relation Aura. And okay, so Havoc, when they interrupt, they get a full resource bar. Obviously, I guess for tanks that might not be as balanced, so can't do that. What the hell? She killed the demon and made it into a void creature. Interesting. I'm definitely saving Metamorphosis for when we actually fight her, though. Blade. Infernal Strike for some pain. There you go. Good thing about Infernal Strike, or is it called Infernal? Yeah, Infernal Strike. It has no range, so you can just do it where you're at if you need more generation of pain without like moving around. This looks. This is exactly the Red Paladin area. Oh wow, I didn't notice that. This is the Red Paladin area. Oh, okay. Just fight her then. This is my cooldown. Now you're gonna be generating a shit ton of pain. So you spam your Soul Cleave, spam your Demon Spikes, just do damage. It doesn't last long, which is kind of sad face, but I mean, what can you expect? Relation Aura. Let's put a Sigil down. Let's put a Fiery Brand too. Let's just wreck her face. Spam, spam, spam. No blade. Soul Cleave her. No blade. And dead. And there the. I do love the very low cooldown on that. Just jump around everywhere. It's amazing. Let's get our artifact weapon. Eldrachi Warblades. When you use Soul Cleave, the Eldrachi Eldrachi or Eldrachi, not sure. Warblades have a chance to unleash the torment of 1,000 souls, dealing 20,000 fire damage to all enemies within 6 yards and healing you for 20% of your health over 10 seconds. Now I've heard that the proc rate on this is absolute shit. It's terrible. But when it does proc, the healing is ridiculous. It's very cool. I do wish they were actual glaives, but I don't mind the Tomfa look. The sheath a little weird on the back. Don't think it'll be that bad. They might actually look, one of the artifact weapons looks like bat wing skulls, so that might actually be interesting. I do like the way that they're held though. I've always liked the whole Tonfa look, especially with the one weapon that's in the Wrath dungeons. So let's see, here we have Eldrachi. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Artifact weapon, got. Nice and short and simple. A lot of these artifact quests are like that. It's not really meant to take too much time. You're supposed to get it, move on with the expansion. It's pretty nice. Oh, okay.
We are all that stands between the Legion and annihilation. If we don't meet again, die well.
Oh, okay, and this is where we go back to our class order hall. I do still have these glaives, so I should be able to transmog if that's what I want. It's very interesting the way that they're sheathed. Kind of look like you have little wings on your back.
Yes, I'm on your side.
Destruction.
It's complicated.
And Luire. Work from home.
Lord Illidan knows the way. Azeroth must not fall.
Right, there we go, and this is how we establish our order hall. Just in control using the Warblades. This little RP thing going on in here. This little circle. Okay. Ashtanga gonna fight for us. Coil Scar as well. And then the Shavara. It's kind of funny to think that they've just been waiting here for almost close to 10 years while Illidan and the rest of us were just imprisoned. Pretty loyal. Alright, so next.
We are all that stands between the Legion and annihilation.
Teleport spell, and just go over here. It doesn't, well, I'm probably gonna forget it over there. There you go.
Remember, nothing is more important than the Legion.
And I did pick Kayn, just because I'm Blood Elf, might as well choose a Blood Elf. Lead me to the Forge. I want to see what the active ability is when you put some points into it. Oh, god damn it.
What you need? Peace for you.
Alright. So, there's a Iron and Arcane. That's interesting. Wonder what the next relic slot's gonna be. Arcane. Demon Rage. 45-second cooldown. Reduces damage taken by 20%. That is an incredibly boring, but standard cooldown, I guess? I don't know, that seems a little shit. I mean, that doesn't seem right. Okay. Parry chance increased by 2%. Increase Increased damage of Shear, which is dumb. Damage of Fellblade. Infernal Strike will do 50% of its damage again at the same location up to 2 seconds. Excuse me, sorry about that, I had to sneeze. That's cool, I guess. And then Painbringer. Soul Cleave extends the duration of Metamorphosis and Immolation Aura by 2 seconds. Wow. Okay, so let's see. Immolation Aura. Immolation Aura is already pretty easy to keep up. With the 2 seconds, it'll be 8-second cooldown. If you can get another Soul Cleave out, then, I mean, it'll almost be indefinite. The Metamorphosis is very interesting, though, because it lasts 10 seconds. So you're going to be getting 100 pain. So it's a full bar. And if you use Soul Cleave, you're going to be getting, that's 40 pain, so you'll be down to 60. But then it'll be 12 seconds. So then with those 2 extra seconds, you're getting 20 pain plus Fellblade. You were at 40, that's 20, 40. You'll get another 2 seconds. So at the minimum, you'll get 4 seconds. If there's anything else that resets your Fellblade, you'll be getting a couple more seconds on your Metamorphosis. So I doubt you can keep it up permanently, but you can definitely keep it going for a little while, especially if there's other ways to generate pain going forward. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Take a look at these colors. Pretty basic. I don't really like the standard version of it. Ladari Crest. I mean, they're cooler, but not the coolest. Dreadlord's Bite. Quite like those. Oh yeah, okay, no, I like that one. This not as much. This one not as much, but this one is definitely very cool, especially the red one. This is the one I don't like. This one's just boring to me, and they need more appearances. But anyways, done with that. Got my Demon's Rage, which I'm gonna go ahead. It's a cooldown, but it's 20-second cooldown. So I always like to put my short cooldown rotational type things 4 through 6. So I guess I could put that there. It's 45-second, reduced damage by 20%. This will be a 20% reduction, heal, and then active mitigation. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. This works specifically. Demon Spikes works on physical damage. So, and then this could just be like magical damage or basically in general. So, I mean, I could definitely see that going. Okay, well, that works.
My life is dedicated to destroying the Burning Legion. Death to the Legion.
Gazing. So that's the Tomb of Sargeras. Now, the interesting thing about this is probably going to be a raid in the future. We might fight the Avatar Sargeras, but I'm definitely hoping they do something with this and not make it just something that goes away in a quest or in a 5-man, anything like that. I really want this to be a focal point. Hopefully not as green as Hellfire Citadel. Thank you, I think.
We are all that stands between the Legion and annihilation. Azeroth must not fall. Do not.
Alright, and I think this is just the point where you get to choose where you want to level. I think, especially since there's going to be raid testing tomorrow, I will be doing raid testing. I'm going to be streaming it tomorrow. I think it's at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is my time. It's different time zones and everything, but 5 p.m. my time is when it's going to be on. Definitely going to be trying out tanking. I think I'm going to set up a Blood DK as well, just because I'm not entirely sold on the ability of Demon Hunter tanks yet. But I know the Blood DKs are pretty strong on the alpha, so I can make sure I can stay alive while we're testing out Ursoc. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Is dedicated to destroying the Burning Legion.
Alright, Val'sharah, High Mountain, and Stormheim. So I think for this one, Val'sharah is the brand new zone. I know everyone's probably over there because it's brand new, and I do just want to make sure that I actually level this. So I'm not sure where I'm going to choose. But I mean, yeah, that's it. again, as far as their viability as tanks, I'm not sold on it. Just because of the fact that it really takes a long time to get pain, and that's not the best thing. I almost feel like you either have to take this, which gives you more pain, or you have to take Abyssal Strike. In fact, I almost feel like the damage of Emulation Aura is not worth not having the pain. So getting Blade Turning and Abyssal Strike is probably what you're going to want to do, at least while they're trying to figure out the balancing for all this. In fact, everything that gives you pain. Besides this seems stupid. Just 4 pain every second while you're below 20 pain. One ability that gives you 20 pain. That's just, it's not useful. You'd have to basically game it in a way that you're at 20 pain, then you use Fellblade, which I mean, might happen. It's possible. Do I think that'll be the best thing? No, but who knows? This is alpha. Alpha is alpha. So, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, that should be it right there. And that's kind of my opinions, my look on the Vengeance Demon Hunter. I'm very interested in the sigil system that they're going to be getting. Hopefully they'll maybe port that over to Havoc so they can have some sort of raid utility. But the sigils as well as the abilities, again, it feels very spammy and not in a good way like not Keg Smash, Tiger Palm is for Brewmaster Monks. It just feels like they are definitely iterating on this. And I mean, it's brand new. Of course they're going to be doing that. But yeah, that has been my look on the Vengeance Demon Hunter. I'm going to be doing a bunch of these, especially for